Hey financial warriors, welcome to the show. This is part 2 of my series on terrible credit and financial advice from your favorite Chinese social media platform, TikTok. Little gems like this.
The main reason why people aren't millionaires, in my opinion, is because they're looking at money from the wrong angle. They're saying, how can I make $1 million a year? When they should be saying, how can I make $2,739 a day?
Which is coming from a 12-year-old who isn't legally allowed to make any dollars per day because he's 12. Anyway, if you like funny financial stuff like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Oh, and this video is brought to you by Melio, but more on that later. All right, so let's launch into our first TikTok.
How credit literally made me over 100 bands. Basically, all credit is a rinse and repeat hack. Literally, it's the cheat code to life. If you want to get rich, credit is the first step. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I will tell you guys a bit of information.
Well, I mean, I guess what he's saying could be true, but he's very vague about it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. I bet he goes into detail in the next section, actually. And by 100 bands, I guess he means 100,000, right? Is a band $1,000? I don't know. I'm 38, guys. I don't deal with this kind of language. Leave your comment below. But anyway, let's check out the next section.
Say I spend 5 bands, I make 15, boom, paid off. I keep the 10 bands, and then I just do it all over again within a month. So let's say I take 5 bands, boom, I invest it, I make it back in 1 week. I pay off my credit card. Then I could use another 5 bands, and I can just keep doing it in the same month.
Yeah, I mean, he's being vague. I want to know what he's investing in, right? I mean, I'm guessing it could be probably e-commerce. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing he's doing e-commerce here. He's spending his 5 bands to buy a load of product on a credit card with a 0% APR deal, and he's then he's then selling it at a markup. So he's probably selling it at, triple the price because he's making 15 bands. But what is he actually selling? That's also what I want to know. I mean, is it that ridiculous jewelry he's wearing? Loads of very small Swarovski gems on it. Things like this on Temu, the one-piece premium Cuban link chain necklace, dazzling hip-hop style with faux diamond accents, masculine curb chain for men, a fashion-forward statement piece for $7.48. I mean, all that ridiculous jewelry he's wearing with the tiny gems, that stuff on Temu, that whole outfit could be worth only like $50. And the cash he was holding is probably fake too. I mean, you can buy that fake cash on Amazon. All the finance YouTubers have it. I know because using real cash is just too much hassle. Believe me, I have tried. For that video, I had to go to an ATM, take out $2,000 and walk through the streets of New York City with it in my pocket, all right? It's just too nerve-wracking, so in the end I just bought the fake cash too. I admit it. So seeing past the fake jewelry, the fake cash, the weird, way of speaking and stuff, and the fact that he's only like 18, maybe this is legit. I don't know. Let's watch the next section though, because I think we're gonna see what he's really trying to do in this clip with the next section.
I really recommend getting American Express cards with the blue card. If you guys don't know how to get those, I actually teach how to get those really easy. With literally as soon as you turn 18 you can get it. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna tell you guys about credit. I should probably make a course about credit, teaching you guys about credit. Let me know if you guys want me to teach you guys about that, but yeah.
Oh, so yeah, a course. Yeah, I love how he's like, I probably should make a course about that. Should I make a course about that? I don't want to, but if you're asking for it, all right, I'll do it. The whole thing was for a course. The whole thing was leading into his course about credit that he's supposedly making, that you guys are going to ask him to make, all right? Because he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be one of those scummy online influencers selling a course, but it's you guys who wanted it. You guys wanted it. All right, let's get into our second piece of terrible TikTok financial advice.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
So, if you look at your social security card, you look at the back of the card, there's a letter on the back of your social security card. Mine's G. That correlates with a Federal Reserve Bank.
All right, so this is, I know what this is. This is those, what's it called? Sovereign citizen people who say that basically your social security number is connected to some bank account with the Federal Reserve and the government, and different companies like trade your social security number and stuff. And well, you'll see what she says in the next clip. Let's keep going because I think I know where she's going with this.
So mine's the Bank of Chicago. You take that routing number for that bank, which is on the internet, and then your social security number is the account number, and you literally have an account in a Federal Reserve Bank attached to your name with millions of dollars in it.
All right, so you have an account with millions of dollars in it. Everyone has it linked to their social security number, and I think she's going to tell you how to access this account in the next section of the clip. Let's check it out.
I've actually used the number and routing number to test it, see if it works. I've used it on energy, and the payment has gone through.
The payment has gone through. So by energy, I'm guessing that she means paying an energy bill with it. But the funny thing is the Fed actually issued a warning about this, okay? Let's check out the Fed's warning. Recently, the Federal Reserve banks have received a number of unauthorized transactions in which consumers have tried to use the Fed's routing numbers and their social security numbers to pay their bills. It's important for consumers to know that when making online or e-check bill payments, they cannot use Federal Reserve routing numbers. Federal Reserve routing numbers are used for sorting and processing payments between banks. Any video, text, email, phone call, flyer, or website that describes how to pay bills using a Federal Reserve Bank routing number or using an account at the Federal Reserve Bank is a scam. And it seems that since videos like this have hit the internet, thousands of people have actually been doing it, okay? The New York Times reported that 107,000 payments totaling more than $100 million have been reversed because of this scam in just a 3-month period, okay? That is insane. I'm not sure if this lady did a follow-up, like, oh, I'm going to jail. My payment got reversed. But guys, I think if something sounds too good to be true, it normally is. And I would advise against doing this because the risk is just too great. You could end up in court accused of financial fraud, theft of Federal Reserve funds, you name it, okay? With all that sovereign citizen stuff, I mean, there is something there, I believe. There may be some loopholes in the law that allow people to not pay taxes, for example. But if you talk to any of these people who do this, they are often in and out of court fighting for their lives. And, you know, they do sometimes end up not having to pay taxes because of loopholes in the law. But it sounds like a very stressful life to me, guys. So, you know, I wouldn't go in for any of this stuff. But if you do want to find out how to not pay taxes, well, check out our next one. Before we get into our next terrible TikTok financial advice clip, if you are looking for a convenient way to pay for things with a credit card that you wouldn't normally be able to use a credit card for, or maybe your small business is looking for a way to pay vendors, let me introduce you to Melio, a complete B2B payment system aimed at freelancers and small businesses that has no setup or subscription fees. Melio lets you pay any vendor with free ACH transfers or with a credit card for a 2.9% fee, even if that vendor does not accept credit cards. You pay Melio with a card, and then they make a bank transfer or send a check on your behalf. Maybe you want to use a card to hit a welcome bonus, or because you have a 0% APR offer. Just make sure you're using your credit card responsibly.
I pay off my credit card.
Oh, thanks. That's great advice. And whatever method you use to pay vendors through Melio, the other party does not need to sign up for Melio to receive the payment. Melio integrates seamlessly with accounting platforms QuickBooks and Xero, so any payment you make automatically gets added to your books. Melio's mobile app gives you the same flexibility to make payments on the go, so check out Melio today with my link below. GoMelio.com/BenH, and for iOS users there is a special deal. If you download the app with my link, GoMelio.com/BenH offer, the second link in the description section, you can claim $100 off your fees when you use a card through Melio, which means you could make $3,400 or so worth of card payments for free. Both links are below. All right, let's get into our third piece of terrible TikTok financial advice.
Here's how my son's gonna reduce my taxes by $12,000 per year, while at the same time using that money to help him become a millionaire by the age of 18. Are you gonna become a millionaire?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Step number 1. I'm gonna pay my son $12,000 per year. This is gonna be to model for content and also help me clean my office. He doesn't have to pay any taxes on this, and this can also be used as a tax write-off for my business.
All right, so yeah, I know where he's going with this. So he wants to pay his son $12,000 per year. Now, kids have the same standard deduction on taxes for earned income as adults do, $13,850 per year. So paying him $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month, means the kid doesn't pay any federal income taxes. Even if he's claimed as a dependent, and the dad would still get the tax credit for claiming he's a dependent, I believe. Okay, consult your CPA, and I think you're gonna see a trend here. That's kind of the big problem with this. Everything in this video is kind of like asterisk, consult your CPA. In addition to no federal income taxes, kids actually don't pay Social Security and Medicare taxes, and that would save you 7.65% and save them another 7.65%, so 15.3% in total. But that's only if you pay through certain types of business entities. Here's what the IRS IRS says. If the business is a parent's sole proprietorship or a partnership in which each partner is a parent of the child, payments for the services of a child under age 18 are not subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes. But you have to be careful, all right? You can't do this with an S-Corp, and I'm guessing this guy's main company is probably an S-Corp because that's what most people do once they start earning money, okay? That's the Joe Biden approved tax avoidance scheme that everyone does, even the president himself. But yeah, maybe he has some other LLCs or an LLC he owns just with his wife that he's able to get some income through, and he's paying the kid through that LLC or as a sole proprietor or whatever. All right. Let's keep going.
Number two, $6,500 of his income is going to go towards his Roth IRA. We're going to invest into an index fund like VOO, and that's going to return him about 10% per year. Step number three, the remaining $5,500 is going to go towards a high yield savings account with Wealthfront. We're going to use 4.55% APY. Another great benefit here is that this FDIC insured up to $4 million. Can't beat that. After 8 years, he's gonna have $76,333 in his Roth IRA, and he'll have $47,907 in his high yield savings account. Step number four, this $124,000 is gonna go towards a down payment on a property that's gonna generate him $2,000 per month in cash flow as a short-term rental.
Okay, a lot of buzzwords in there, a lot of financial influencer buzzwords. He's gonna start a Roth IRA, he's gonna invest in VOO, which is everyone's favorite ETF that tracks the market, right? And then he's gonna become an Airbnb host, okay? I think probably the dad is going to set that up for him so it's like passive, I'm guessing. And yeah, you know, it's kind of a solid plan if the dad can do all the steps and, you know, he's got a CPA like advising him. But, you know, the real reason I include this one is just look at this kid, right? He looks like about a 4-year-old or something. I do not see this kid cleaning an office, all right? At least not in any meaningful way. Now, I have 2 kids, and yeah, they might sweep the floor for a couple of minutes and then get distracted by something else, or if I pay them $3, they'll empty the dishwasher, but they do it very slowly and poorly. And, you know, the IRS, they have standards for employing your children, all right? You can't just be like, oh, kid, you are employed by me, and yeah, you know, I'll give you $1,000 a month, but actually you're doing all the work. This guy said his kid's gonna clean his office and he's gonna be a model for his content, right? Now, if modeling for his content just, you know, consists of him holding the kid up in the occasional video, I don't think that really counts, all right? The IRS does have standards. They, you know, they want you to pay a reasonable amount of pay, okay? So you can't pay, and that's not too high and not too low, right? So you can't pay a 4-year-old $1,000 a month for a tiny amount of work that they're not really qualified to do, and then you come and finish it off for them, okay? So, I don't know. I mean, it's the same with him being a model as well. Like, if you look at the video, okay, the kid has his hair gelled and he's wearing a shirt, so maybe that did take some preparation. He spent 10 minutes in the makeup room with his mom. Is that worth $1,000 a month? I'm not sure, okay? But the thing about this is I'm sure this guy, and I follow this guy on Instagram, I think he's called Preston. He's got some quite good videos about short-term rental stuff. But with this, I think it's not good advice because there's so much more to it than just, well, hey, I'm going to employ my kid to sweep my floor, $12,000 tax deduction. And actually at the beginning, did you notice? He says it's going to save me $12,000 on my taxes.
Here's how my son's going to reduce my taxes by $12,000 per year.
That's not true. It's not a $12,000 tax credit. It's a $12,000 tax deduction. He won't pay taxes on that $12,000. But, you know, what I'm going to say with this is I'm sure this guy has a CPA advising him on all the things he needs to do to make this look legit, okay, to the IRS, right? So keeping a log of the hours that his kid is allegedly doing, all right, cleaning his office and modeling, paying him a so-called reasonable wage, etc. And, you know, I'm sure this guy's gonna probably pull it off okay. But the reason I think it's not good advice is that if you just watch this and you're like, hey, I'm going to employ my kid, great, $12,000 a year, tax-free, boom, and then you don't work with a CPA and do all of the things that you're supposed to do, people could get into a lot of trouble doing this. So I would be very careful. All right, let's move on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Finance Friday. So this Friday. We are total $67,080.90 in credit card debt. It went up a little bit from last week. You guys, the interest is what kills me. I get charged like $400 in interest a week. That's what I'm like paying. It's crazy.
Okay. Welcome to Finance Friday, guys. Or it should be called Welcome to How I Destroy My Finances Friday. I'm $67,000 in debt. Well, hey, it's the interest that kills me. I mean, that's interesting. This guy, he actually did a series of videos about how in debt he is. And he's not paying off the debt. The videos in chronological order, the debt is actually increasing.
The balances went up a little bit. Or no, I actually paid the Bank of America Red and the Bank of America Silver. So the balances went down a little bit. But then the Capital One, we got charged like $400 in interest. So it's over its $14,000 limit. And obviously a $477 payment's due.
Okay, so looking at those cards, straight away, what I can see as a credit expert is that I don't believe he has any balance transfer cards in order to avoid paying interest, all right? He mentioned in the first clip that he's paying $400 a week in interest. So let's do the math. 400 times 52, that's over $20,800 in interest he's paying per year. He said that he was $67,000 in debt, so that's about, I don't know, coming up to, well, a little bit under 30%, it's been like 27% or something. It looks like there's not even one card in there where he has moved the balance from that card to a balance transfer card. Like you look at the cards, he's got the Bank of America Red, Silver. He doesn't have the Bank of America White card, which is the one with the really good 18-month balance transfer deal on it. He doesn't seem to be making any effort to get out of this debt, all right, at all. The first thing to do, if you're in this much credit card debt, is to get those balances transferred over onto balance transfer cards, which give you a certain amount of months, maybe 12 months, 15, 18 months, interest-free, so that you can pay off that balance without constantly being, taking one step forward and then half a step back because you're paying half the amount you just paid in interest. Let's keep going though, because his debt is increasing.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Finance Friday with Wyatt. We're going to be talking about my credit card debt that reached $68,000 this month.
All right, so it's $68,000 now. He's up to $68,000. This is like those people on Wall Street bets who are like posting, kind of feeling an achievement at how much money they lost on the stock market. It's that same kind of feeling. Let's see the next clip, see how much he gets up to now.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Finance Friday with Wyatt Wickman. How we carried $69,000 worth of credit card debt and our $173,000 student loan debt. So as we can see, the debt has gone up on the loans and the credit cards. The credit cards right now is actually about $69,000, so it's wrong, but it's gone up about $25,000 over the last 6 months or so, which is kind of bad. Let's take a look at this week's spreadsheet.
Oh, I love the music he put on this one. Like, here's your debt update, guys. Yeah, let's take a look at this week's spreadsheet. But no, seriously, I mean, if you ever get into this much credit card debt, balance transfer cards are your friend, okay? Get all those balances, or as much as you can, transferred onto a balance transfer card so that you can pay them off in a reasonable amount of time without getting like stabbed in the back by interest. You don't want to be paying 25% interest on a credit card. So definitely don't listen to this guy. All right, let's move on to our final piece of terrible TikTok financial advice.
My most successful friends are like alcoholic, abusive dad, absent mom. That kind of trauma like shapes people different, way different. That's hard to manufacture. You can do it, but it's risky. And that's the point, and I literally recently have been telling guys like, hey, if you don't have the fire inside of you, get some credit cards and manufacture debt. And if you do that, guess what? Now you have to perform, or else there's genuine consequences to you not performing.
Manufacture debt. Get yourself into crippling debt on purpose. Maybe that's what the guy in the clip before did. He watched this guy's TikTok and he got himself into $69,000 worth of credit card debt, and now he's on fire, right? He's performing. I mean, I see where he's coming from, all right? Because when you do have that pressure, like I remember a couple of years ago, there was 1 month where I needed to come up with a load of money to put the down payment on the house that I was going to start building, okay, my cabin in the Catskills, which you can stay at, by the way, link down below. But I needed to raise about, I needed to earn $45,000 in 1 month. And I was like, okay, I got to earn $45,000 this month. And I just, I worked really hard. I did a load of things, more ads, more affiliate links. And, I think I earned like 30 or 32,000 or something. So not quite the 45,000, but the point was that I did actually earn more than normal by, like several thousand. It was, yeah. So when you have that pressure, it is true that it can force you to work hard. But like he said, it's risky, right? He did say that in the clip, didn't he? He did put that disclaimer. It's risky. Not as good as a not financial advice disclaimer, but hey, he told you it's risky. This is kind of like that clip we had in the part 1 of this from that channel or that TikTok entrepreneur, right? Like manure, you get it? Who was saying if you want to give your kids a head start, you take out credit cards in their name and max them out, right? So they start from below nothing, right? Other people start from nothing. These people start from minus $20,000, and it makes them hustle harder. So yeah, interesting. The difference is though that this one was serious. The other one was a joke, a spoof. Interesting take on it, and I kind of in a weird way see where he's coming from, but obviously terrible advice, guys. Don't do it. So that is our 5 terrible pieces of TikTok financial advice for your entertainment. Don't do any of them, but what you should do is check out Melio with my link below, and for iOS users, you get $100 off your fees when you use a card through Melio with the second link in the description. You have to download the app for that one. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.